Greetings everyone, we're back at Universal Orlando for another round of Halloween Horror Nights updates. Since the last update, Universal has revealed the final 2 houses that will be part of the lineup for this year's event. They also shared some details about the live entertainment that will be part of the lineup, and even more props and decorations and set pieces have been added to the scare zones around the park. There's so much to cover today, so let's get inside Universal Studios Florida and check it out. So this year's event is going to feature 10 haunted houses. We were waiting for the final 2 to be revealed, and Universal has done that. The first is Five Nights at Freddy's, which we knew was coming to Universal, but we didn't know how. Universal was being very coy about it, but they have announced that it's actually going to be a haunted house this year. So yes, it's based on the Five Nights at Freddy's movie, which is based on the video game. We'll be going inside an abandoned Freddy Fazbear's pizzeria. And encountering possessed animatronics. And the other one is a WWE themed house called WWE Presents the Horrors of the Wyatt Six. Now, I'm not really familiar with the concept of this house just because I don't follow wrestling, but based on what Universal released, this house is going to be themed to the Wyatt Six, which is a professional wrestling group comprised of 5 members. They each portray different demented characters. The group itself is a tribute, a legacy to a professional wrestler named Bray Wyatt, who died in 2023, I believe. But basically when we go through the house, we'll be going through the different minds of those characters. So that sounds really intriguing. Again, I don't follow wrestling. I don't really know a lot about the lore, the backstory, but I am intrigued. All right, so the last time I was here, I basically just did a loop around the park, stopping at all the areas that would have scare zones and pointing out some of the decorations or props and things like that. I'm gonna do the same thing again today, starting right here at the front of the park for the Origins of Horror Scare Zone. Now, the overall theme for this year is the conservatory. I've mentioned this before, and that just basically means what kind of aesthetic Universal's going for with all of their scare zones and houses and how they're going to incorporate it. Basically, a lot of vines, stained glass, gargoyles, bats. That's the kind of theming that they're going for, and you'll see that again incorporated into the scare zones so that everything is connected. So you'll see that here with the Origins of Horror Scare Zone. Now, the last time I was here, there was absolutely nothing over here. There were no props, there were no set pieces, it was just empty. That has definitely changed since the last time. As soon as you walk in, you can see a lot of set pieces, a lot of large set pieces. So right over here in front of the Universal Studios store, they have one of these really large set pieces. Basically, it's like this stone gated platform here. Definitely some place where the characters can stand on and greet people as they're entering Halloween Horror Nights. This is very, very large. And also very detailed. You know, they've got the fencing here, the gate. And this also has steps, and they have a sign on here that says do not climb, and it's blocked off so that people will hopefully not try to step on this or climb it. So right over here next to Wicked the Experience, they also have another one, and this one also has some stairs. And again, the gate. As you make your way down this street, right between Despicable Me and Villains Con, is they have even more set pieces. So it's clear that this scare zone is going to extend pretty much all the way down this street, which is nice to see because past few years we didn't really have scare zones being this elaborate. You know, it kind of especially the entrance scare zone would kind of just end right near the entrance and not go beyond that. So it's nice to see that they're really kind of expanding this area. So anyway, right over here we have this really large crypt with some stained glass and more of that gate theming. And it also looks like it has like a tree growing inside of it, which is kind of cool. And it definitely looks sort of weathered. I'm interested to know what they're going to use this for. They're going to have characters in here, they're going to have lights. What's going on with this? But it's very big. I don't know if you can tell just how like massive it is. And then you have the stained glass look right there. They have another one over here. Same look. Stained glass look right there. And like the tree coming through. And then I guess, okay, so this is where the character would come in from. So yeah, they're probably gonna have characters in here. And again, this is massive. I don't know if you can really tell how big this whole structure is. And then right across of it, we have another one. I'll kind of stand farther back from this one to show you. But yeah, same thing. It's like crypt looking structures with the sort of broken gate and the tree in the center. And they're in the process of putting all this together. So what we're seeing right now is not necessarily how it's going to look when it's completed, but it definitely gives you an idea of what they're going for. And then we have another one of these like platform structures here, just at the very end of the street, right next to the next to Villancon building. And this one also says "Do not climb." Now I'm curious if they're going to put something on this platform here, or they're going to have people standing next to it, on it. But yeah, it is taking shape. So the next stop is going to be the Masquerade Dance with Death Scare Zone. There were some set pieces here last time, but it looks like there's even more. So right here at the front, beginning of the scare zone, they've added these large gates on either side. And they kind of match the look of the crypts in the Origins of Horror scare zone. I'm just picturing fog blasting as we walk through here. But yeah, these are very large. They also have that weathered look. And then the iron light gate. So this platform was here the last time, but I've noticed a couple of new additions. So on either side, they've added these tall, almost like lamppost looking things on either side. And then they also have a trigger here on the stage. So this is something that the characters can step on to trigger an effect, like a sound or lights or something like that. So they have one of these on the stage. And then here's that other little prop that they have here. So they have this structure here, and this one features some kind of like feline in the background there in the stained glass looking backdrop. And it also has those props on either side. And there's also a trigger on the stage. So this platform was here last time as well, but it has some new additions. So again, it's got those little props on either side, those little posts on either side. And then this one also has, looks like some kind of table. Not sure what that is on top of it. There's a table here. And then tucked over here in the corner, which I'm sure that they're going to pull out eventually, is another trigger. Last set piece that's out here. Again, this one was out here before. Not much has changed on this one, except again, they have added these posts on either end. And then at the end here, right next to Mel's, is another one of those gate set pieces. I don't know if this one is going to get another half on the other side because there's nothing over there right now, but they have this one out here. All right, so made a quick stop into Five and Dime. They've added a bunch of new Halloween Horror Nights merchandise. So they have merchandise for the houses that they announced, the Five Nights at Freddy's and the Wyatt 6 house. But they also added some merchandise for Little Boo. They have a whole Little Boo collection. They have a Little Boo bag, shirts, tanks, a Little Boo candle, and some other like Little Boo items, lounge pants and things like that. And then they also added a Mel's Die-In collection. So they have this Mel's Die-In shirt that glows in the dark. I know that one's probably going to be very popular. Last year's Mel's Die-In shirt was very popular. They've also have like some Mel's Die-In keychains and a Mel's Die-In bag. So if you're trying to stock up on some Halloween Horror Nights merchandise before the event, definitely head over to Five and Dime because they have a bunch of new items over there. So I made my way over here by Battery Park. Still don't know officially yet what this is going to be. Very likely HHN bar of some kind, but I did notice a couple of changes over here. So last time we were here, this large entrance way that they've had here for a while previously had this like yellow fabric covering it, but they've now switched it out with this coral red colored fabric. So I don't know if that's gonna tie in with the theme of whatever's gonna be over here, but it definitely stands out. Now, these monitor stands and these trusses with the lights on them were over here last time, but they've added an additional truss right over here, and it also has lights on it, and it's all pointing basically in this center area here. So this is likely where they're going to have something. I don't know if it's going to be characters or what, but definitely starting to take shape over here. All right, so since I'm over here by the lagoon, I have another Halloween Horror Nights update to share. So a lot of people have been hoping, myself included, that Universal would bring back a lagoon show for Halloween Horror Nights. And they haven't had one in the last couple of years, but guess what? Yes, our wish is coming true. They are gonna have a lagoon show this year. It's called Haunt-O-Phonic, A Ghoulish Journey. It's gonna be a ghost story told with water screens and eerie music. So that's really cool. I always love the lagoon shows. They're so great what Universal is able to do with those. And they're just fun, you know, and it's a nice extra thing for people to do while they're at the event, and the event definitely needs it because, you know, yes, everybody wants to go through the scare zones and the haunted houses, but having some other live entertainment really sort of rounds out the event and also helps spread people out and gives people a lot of things to do to really make the event worth it. Now you can pretty much watch the lagoon show from anywhere, but the best place to watch it is from Central Park because of how the show is set up, because you're facing the direction of where most of the action is going to be taking place. Speaking of Central Park, I'm now heading that way to see the changes that have been made to the scare zone over there. That one is the Cat Lady of Crooked Lane. This is the scare zone that I'm really looking forward to the most. And it's also the one that had, I think, the most decorations up, and even more have been added. Here we are outside the Cat Lady of Crooked Lane, and so much has changed since the last time I was here. This looks like a completely different area. The first thing I noticed is they've added these, this gate here that has 9 Crooked Lane, a sign for 9 Crooked Lane on it. And then they've added all this like greenery, and there's like these like cut out cats, and then they have like pumpkins strung up. and leaves. It's a lot going on over here. They have this bike here. It's kind of covered with leaves and vines. And the whole idea behind this scare zone is that the trick-or-treaters get turned into feral felines. So the crooked cat lady is up to something here. And I guess we're going to see evidence of the former trick-or-treaters. Skateboards that must have belonged to one of the trick-or-treaters. Some more things here. They've got toys kind of tucked in places here. Some more like cat decorations. And all of these like props. Oh look, they've got a jar of milk here. All of these props, these toys and things, are made to look weathered or distressed, like they've been here for a while. So she's probably been turning trick-or-treaters into cats for a while now. Some more props over here. You've got the tricycle. Again, looks very worn and weathered. Another skateboard. And then like a trash can just to add to the atmosphere. Enter if you dare. Got another bike. This one has a trick-or-treater mask on it. So we've got some more Halloween costumes. This one's a clown costume with the wig. Trick-or-treat bucket right there. And then it looks like what, like yarn or something. They've added another jar of milk, some jeans, toy there. Those poor trick-or-treaters. A shoe, oh my goodness. This cat lady's a menace. Continuing down Crooked Lane here. More evidence of the presence of trick-or-treaters. Now this is interesting. This one's like a cage. Is this where she puts the trick-or-treaters that have been turned into cats? No. Oh, look, there's a flamingo. Gotta have a flamingo in Florida. Another bike here with a little trick-or-treat pail. Another trick-or-treat pail here. And seeing a lot of those little cat decorations around. Like I said, they have added so many props and decorations over here. When I was here last time, this whole walkway was bare. There was nothing over here. All they had were those platforms that were covered. And now, speaking of the platform is there, it's no longer covered, but that's what it looks like. Still don't know what it's going to be used for. And when you're walking down Crooked Lane, you gotta look up because they've added a ton of jack-o'-lanterns in the trees. I can't wait to see what this looks like at night with the fog and the lights and all the characters. This is going to be a fun scare zone. Just pretty much every direction that you look on each side, they've added props. Got a radio. I'm mostly just trying to see what different things I can spot. They just added so much stuff. Oh my gosh, they have one of those Fisher-Price cars. Any of you ever had that when you were a kid? So this one they have some candy, fake candy. This reminds me of like Major Sweets. Do you remember that? I don't know if they reused that, but that reminds me of Major Sweets. This one has a ton of clothes and a backpack. mask. More bikes. Where did Universal get all these bikes? They have so many bikes over here. Oh, there's a big ball of yarn there, right next to the cat. Another cool thing that they've added are these really large posters that look like they're pages from a storybook, and they essentially tell the story of this scare zone. And what's really cool is that you can read them either way, either direction that you're going. So let's dive into the story here. Deep in a forest on Halloween night, the trick-or-treaters follow moonlight, the naughty children that dare to explore the old crooked lane along the forest floor. Cat eyes and pumpkins line the dim trail to the cat lady's house, so withered and frail. The cat lady of Crooked Lane stands on her stoop, stirring her cauldron of special soup. She's not a witch, the children all say, as she pets her cats of orange, black, and gray. She lifts her ladle and offers a taste. They drink it all down, not a drop goes to waste. The potion sets in, turning hands into claws, and long feline teeth protrude from their jaws. The children all scream as they become beasts and now hunt their friends to add to the feast. The moral of the story, and it should be plain, never trust the cat lady of Old Crooked Lane. Ooh. All right, so now we're making our way towards the end of Crooked Lane. And again, this scare zone extends all the way out here to this courtyard. And they've definitely added more decorations to this section of the scare zone. So you'll be able to walk through this, and they've added this very large scratching post, which I guess is a perfect size for trick-or-treaters who have become cats, who've been turned into cats. That's very, very large. But yeah, they've added like the string here through the trees and on top of this platform. Again, we still have the gates and stuff, but yeah, they've added some scratching posts onto the fencing. Oh, and they've added a ton of lights. And we didn't have any lights the last time I was here, and a speaker. They've added this giant speaker here. So, okay, so we got some lights and we got speakers in here. This is definitely going to be fun. There's a large cat toy right there and a big old ball of yarn and another light. They've added these like broken, I guess it's like windows or something at the top. Those weren't here the last time we were here either. I also mentioned the cats in the stained glass windows, and I had a couple people reach out to me and they were like, I don't see the cat, Ashley. And I'm like, what, do you not see the cat? So if you don't see it, these are the ears, okay? And then these are the eyes, all right, right here. That's the eyes. And then this is the cat head, all right? So you kind of look back. Do you now see it? Eyes are green. So those are cat eyes. And they've got the cat ears and the head. And it's like that for all of them. So the other big update over here is that this platform is being turned into the Crooked Lady's house. So I thought it was going to just be like a stage, but they've actually built a house on it. So they might have the Crooked Lady, the Crooked Cat Lady, come out from that door onto the stage here. But yeah, she's got her own little house here. Look at that. I've made it over to the former Fear Factor Theater. Not much has changed over here. They have added some barricades right in front of the theater. probably to get ready for the show that's going to be here, which is Nightmare Fuel, Circus of Decay. So that was the other announcement that Universal made, is that Nightmare Fuel is back, Circus of Decay. So this show is going to be themed to a circus and feature aerialists, pyro, dancing, and a whole lot more. A lot of people love the Nightmare Fuel shows. I've enjoyed most of them over the years, so I'm actually kind of curious to see what this one's all about, because I kind of am liking the circus theme, depending on how they execute it. But yeah, again, no major changes here. I'm not expecting anything major to happen until closer to the event, like when they put the sign up here for Nightmare Fuel and everything. But yeah, that was the other live entertainment update. No major updates over here in the New York area, although they have added this truss. This wasn't here the last time I was here. There's nothing on it, but it is a pretty tall one. Also, still no word yet on what's going on at the Palace Arcade. Universal hasn't said anything. We don't know anything about what's going on there. Again, arcade lettering has been taken down, the doors have been blacked out, but radio silence. Universal, tell us what's going on here. The people want to know. I'm sure they'll announce something soon. The construction walls around Gramercy Park are down, so now you get a nice view of Gramercy Park. I'm struggling to remember what it looked like before, because obviously they did some kind of refurbishment over here, but I don't know exactly what. You can definitely tell they put in new landscaping, which looks nice. And of course they have all these benches here where people can sit and relax. So that's nice. I don't remember what this looked like before. Probably because I didn't really spend a lot of time over here, because this previously was one of the designated smoking areas in the park. I'm not a smoker, so I would never really come over here. It is no longer a smoking area because there are no longer smoking areas within the Universal theme parks. So just keep that in mind. So I don't know if these lights were here before or they just added these, but they have lights strung up over here. This is usually where they have one of the bars during Halloween Horror Nights. And maybe they're prepping for that over here. Not much else is happening over here, but I did notice the lights. Again, they could have already been there, and I just noticed them today, but anyway. And one final thing, we're now in the month of August, and that means Rip Ride Rocket will be closing. Yes, it's closing August 18th. So you just have a few weeks left to experience this coaster before it closes forever, and then Universal is going to replace it with what? We don't know yet. They haven't announced that, but yes, Rip Ride Rocket is going away. All right, so that's gonna wrap up my day here at Universal. I hope you enjoyed joining me for all of the Halloween Horror Nights updates. We had so many of them, and it was really nice to see all the changes, the evolution of all of the scare zones, all the additional props and decorations, and it just makes me even more excited for this event. The Cat Lady of Crooked Lane is probably one of my most anticipated scare zones, and going through there, it just makes me want to see it come to life, like with all the lights and the sound effects, especially at night with all the characters. So I have a feeling like that's going to be my favorite one. So let me know in the comments which scare zone you're most looking forward to experiencing, and also let me know which house that you're most excited to experience as well. So I'm really excited for the event. We're officially in August, so it is now the month of Halloween Horror Nights. The event kicks off on the 29th. I'm going to be there opening night. Hopefully I'll see some of you there, and if you do see me, definitely say hi. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'd really appreciate that. A lot of you are watching the videos, but it would really help if you hit subscribe. That would help support my channel and help the channel grow. So I'd really appreciate that. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time.